Thanks for stopping by for this week's 2 Minutes with Tim. Remember, you can get past editions of 2 Minutes with Tim at timvanronselen.com. This week I want to talk about injuries that come from electrical power lines or electrical telephone poles with guy wires and those kinds of things. We've helped numerous people and families who have been injured or killed from coming into contact with overhead power lines. We take it for granted that when we flip the switch, the lights come on, and the power companies usually do a great job of providing service to make sure we can see and have the advantages and the comforts of electricity. Sometimes the power lines do not do a great job of insulating or isolating those power lines, and they then come into contact with people, causing devastating injuries or even death. We've handled many cases where people have come into contact with power lines either through a construction job or through perhaps a situation where the power line came down because the utility company did not properly secure the power line to a building. The line then drops and accidentally comes into contact with people. I've also worked on cases where people have been hurt very severely from coming into contact with unmarked guy wires. You know, in a rural community, people drive around fields and those kinds of things, and the utility companies or co-ops have an obligation to mark their guy wires so people can see them. Sometimes that's not done, and when it's not done, it's kind of like a clothesline waiting to injure or to hurt somebody. Remember, if you're going to do any work or construction around a power line, to make sure that you call 1-800-DIG-RIGHT to make sure those on the ground are marked appropriately. And remember that there's an obligation on people who are working around power lines to be careful and to notify the power company so they can take steps to insulate or isolate the overhead power line. There's actually a law in Missouri called the Missouri Overhead Power Line Safety Act, which exists to make sure that the utility companies are made aware of any construction around their poles. If you or a loved one has been injured around or with an electrical power line, feel free to give us a call. Let me know if I can help. My number is 573-635-7977. And thanks for stopping by for this week's 2 Minutes with Tim.